Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife, Marie. And you are going in Smackdown Live.
Hey, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Yeah, welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it, and make sure you leave us a rating, review, or a comment on the audio side of things. It really does help boost the exposure of Going In Raw.
It does.
We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. It's a fantastic way to support Going In Raw. You kick in some money.
We give you stuff.
And then we give you stuff. At the $1 mark, you get a shout out here on the show. You get the show ad-free. You get to import your RSS feed over to whatever podcast app you're listening to the show on.
Weekly episode overrun as well.
You
Bonus
get
post-show type deal.
Weekly bonus show.
Do we have to do patrons for the day?
Yeah, we got a couple new ones. I'll give them some shout outs here. Let's see here. Lavelle Kaiser, Dark Moon 287, James Oliver, Beige Noir, and Vicente Areola. All new patrons.
Thank you, everybody.
Want to give a shout out to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your support.
Thank you.
This Friday, we will be watching WrestleMania 2000.
Yep, appears to be the case.
Confirmed, as voted on by the $10 and up patrons.
Yes.
Because Patreon told us to do $10 voting.
Well, they said do
level.
one tier and said that was tier that worked great.
Yeah. And so
we did that.
We did that.
Kayfabe cornerback, we did that. Now it's something of actual consequence.
Yeah.
That's very good programming.
So WrestleMania 2000 this Friday, probably close at like 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
This Friday morning. Bama's got some vaccinations. Vaccinate your kids.
Yeah, vaccinate
people,
your kids, please.
Because who wants to live in the dark ages? not I.
You know, there was a time when it really wasn't measles.
Yeah.
And now it's a thing again.
Yeah. Well, there's also what was that thing that wiped out a third of Europe?
Oh, the plague. Yeah.
The plague. Exactly. Oh man. So, anyways, I got to deal with that on Friday morning at like 8:15. So I'll be rolling around 9:30 or so.
That's fine. I'll be here.
So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do a Going In Raw review of it. So that should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. A lot to unpack with today's episode, or with last night's episode of SmackDown Live. Overwhelmingly, not surprising.
It was a really good show
at all. The community poll up there at the YouTube.
Well, it's gonna be what, 70-some, low 70s.
It was 67 last night. I think I checked this morning. It was 67%.
67 still, yes. 4% nay, some routine 12. Don't plan to watch 8 and plan to watch later 9.
Are there people who click don't plan to watch always? Like, are there like a subset of people that are always clicking that because they just don't watch any wrestling?
No, I don't know if they don't watch.
I'm sorry. Plan to watch later. Don't plan to watch. Yeah.
I think those are those people that just come to us strictly for their recaps. They don't have time to sit through 2 to 3 hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
5 hours minimum each week.
God bless those people.
So they put up with us for a couple hours and get the major story beats.
I'm totally fine with that. Y'all are engaged. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of curious. I am interested that people will watch our recap and then don't watch the show.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Or maybe I know some people they'll like check out the YouTube clips. A sad day, Larson. Sad day.
Oh yeah, Total Divas episode gone.
The amazing Twitter account, Total Divas Episodes, which is kind of a weird name.
Well, I don't care what the name is, man. They deliver some top-notch gifts.
Some top-notch gifts. They had their account suspended, oddly enough, not due to a WWE takedown. Do you want to know why?
Why?
I have the inside dirt.
Why?
It's not so inside. They put it on Reddit.
Yeah, I saw the thread. I didn't read it yet, though.
A Sarah McLachlan track that they used in 2017 suddenly got a takedown notice. And so their account was suspended. They have a backup account now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is
TDE Wrestling, right?
I think it's probably TDE Wrestling.
I think that's what it is.
Let's see here. But yeah, a lot of people thought it was the WWE stuff. They said they had gotten notices before about that stuff, but this wasn't it. Let's see here. I'm assuming.
Did they use a song that they use in those animal ads?
TDE underscore wrestling.
Did they use that song, the Angel song?
Oh my God, they already have 15,000 followers. Awesome.
I
Good
mean,
job,
they
people.
do a great public service.
In the arms.
Well, don't sing it. We're going to take them, man. Stop.
Oh, man.
Stop.
My heart. There's a Shelton Benjamin retweeted this pit bull named Blue who was desperately trying to get attention at a shelter because everybody goes over him. And I was like, man, I want to drive out to New York because I think it's in New York. I want to go get Blue. He looks like a good boy.
All right.
So probably not going to happen though.
No.
Anyways.
No.
So yeah, a lot to unpack. Last night's episode of SmackDown. Of course, it was the big night. Kofi Kingston had his Gauntlet match and beating all odds, beat all those guys until Vince McMahon came out. 7 minutes left in the show.
Oh man, what a jerk!
7 minutes left in the show. Oof. I thought they were going to give us a little bit of an overrun because they went late.
They did. It was 2 minutes of overrun.
Oh, was it actually 2 minutes?
When
overrun?
I turned off my TV, I caught up live, and it was 10:02.
Okay, that makes sense because that show was like at 6:59. I was like, what? This match is still happening right now. So yeah, Vince McMahon came out and put the final nail. He says, "I say congratulations, you got to fight this guy now." And it was, of course, WWE champion Daniel Bryan. We kind of figured
Vince would find a way to screw over Kofi. And sure enough, it happened.
But there are some things that are definitely worth pointing out here. They have firmly made this. I have no doubt at this point that Kofi's totally winning that title at WrestleMania. I think more now than ever. I might put all my confidence points on that.
Wow.
As far as the three biggest matches that we put up on that community poll last week, which one of these is least likely
to go the way the fans want?
Right. Between the Becky match, the Seth match, and the Kofi match. Right now, the Kofi match is mine least likely not to happen. He's winning that title. They have turned this. They have made it. And you can call it subtly or unsubtly. I don't know. But they made it about race. They've done that. There's two very, very distinct things that happened. That
Byron Saxton's comment on commentary.
Alfred, yeah, I was sort of listening. I was sort of half-assed listening to commentary just because that's sort of how I do things. But our friendo Alfred Konowa pointed it out in a really well-written tweet here that I'm going to find right now. He writes for Forbes.
Yes.
And he says, nobody in pro wrestling media will say this, and I'm not sure any of them got the reference, but Saxton's quote about Kofi having to work twice as hard to get half as far is in reference to him being black. Well done. Hashtag SmackDown Live. And then this morning or last night.
Yeah, Big E put up a video on Twitter.
It was a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
Which, number one, this video, if you watch it, just even out of context of what's happening right now, is just evidence that you got to put the strap on this guy at some point. Talk about world champion material. But he lays out fairly clearly. He says, historically, people like us, historically and in the current day, have the odds stacked against us. It's fairly clear that's where they're going. And I was thinking about it a lot this morning, and it makes all the sense in the world. WWE is about to come up upon their bi-yearly, that's every 2 years, bi-yearly, semi-yearly,
twice a year.
Their semi-annual public relations nightmare called their Saudi Arabia deal.
Yes.
And WWE lately has understood the business value, because we all know WWE goes where the money is. They have understood the business value of coming off as as progressive as they can possibly be. The women's evolution, the very first women's pay-per-view. And I totally get that deal with Saudi Arabia. They go where the money is.
Yeah.
And then they try to cover that stuff up with what they can do.
With good public relations moments and things. Yes, totally.
What they can do right now, and it's a win across the board, is get that title on Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. I sort of understood your point last week about getting there could be the prize, but at this point, That is nowhere near enough.
Well, last week that was the overriding storyline, was just getting to Mania. And that still kind of was this week, but the added kind of layers, as you just mentioned, plus Daniel Bryan really doubling down on Kofi being the B-plus player.
Yeah.
And using Daniel Bryan as the villain in this case, as opposed to the hero as he was last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all setting up for a title win for Kofi.
Yeah.
I'm still not totally convinced it's going to happen at WrestleMania. It could happen at the following pay-per-view, but he's definitely winning that belt at some point.
WrestleMania will have a massive stain on it if Kofi doesn't win. And they don't want that. There's no, they want the next morning. Here's the thing. So we know that we understand that it's such a weird thing. It's an oddball thing, but they kind of have their cake and eat it too a little bit. The WWE Championship is treated somewhat kind of like the big gold belt was when it was a thing. It's got more prestige to it.
It does. It's treated slightly better.
But it's also kind of apples and oranges. The Universal title is the Raw title, which is the main show. That's the one where people go on media events and stuff like that.
If you're the Universal Champion, you're top guy.
Right.
Yeah.
However, they've got a couple things happening right now which could alter that landscape a little bit. Number one, people have noted often, like Mark Henry, for example, African-American big gold belt winner. But people point out it was the big gold belt. Didn't really mean as much. This is the lineage title. So regardless, number one, that has it a step above the big gold belt.
Yeah.
Who's technically, its lineage is like 2003.
Well, I mean, actually, technically, the lineage of the big gold belt goes all the way back to the early NWA
That's
champions.
not technically, though. That's like spiritually.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know,
like,
but
I get what you're saying. That it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But it didn't really.
I know. If they first brought it around in the early 80s or some point like that. But it was the idea, I think, was that it
was supposed to be
a continuation
idea.
of the lineage of the NWA
It was
title.
supposed to be the idea. But the WWE lineage title, number one, might have a lot more shine depending on how they treat the Fox deal. If they treat Fox's SmackDown Live as maybe like a competitor to Raw in a truer sense, if they try to build that show up.
Well, and that was the original plan for the brand split. And they said on TV was, I want real competition.
Yeah. Then they're going to have all the reason to elevate that title even more. WWE, like I said earlier, they have sort of this public relations nightmare thing with the Saudi Arabia deal. If they want to, which is coming up, another show's coming up in like a month from WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's May 1st or something like that, I think.
If they want to at least try to smokescreen that, you have Kofi Kingston, the first African American to win the lineage title at WrestleMania. He can do the New Day. Are you kidding me? On Good Morning America, all that stuff.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Huge. They're already huge merchandise sellers. So business wise, this makes
all the sense in the world.
A million times sense over. I don't believe that. I think that Vince McMahon is much more apt to do the heat for heat's sake thing with Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin, as opposed to Kofi Kingston. I think that that's the case. I think that he's going to do some heat for heat's sake stuff still.
Yeah,
I
still think one of the top three matches is going to be a heat for heat's sake moment.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of places
if it's not Daniel Bryan retaining, then it's going to be Ronda Rousey retaining.
Ronda, I'm sort of softening on the idea that Ronda's going to totally lose that thing just because of how they've treated her in the last 2 weeks.
It seems kind of quick to pivot to a heel turn, just have her drop the belt immediately. Basically.
Well, I think it's not just that she's pivoting to a heel turn. It's a strong heel
turn. I know. That's what I mean. Like, why pivot to such a immediate and strong heel turn for the sake of 1 month of a program?
There's a lot of heat on her, and they've.
I'm telling you, like, if she makes Charlotte tap at Mania and they do Becky Ronda 101 at SummerSlam,
relegating Becky and Charlotte just to a segment on SmackDown this week?
They've kind of, the last couple of weeks, kind of separated the feuds.
Yeah. And I don't know what that's all about.
It's probably because Ronda's going to retain.
It's possible. That's possible. Keep Becky away from her to try to protect Becky? Because,
maybe.
Boy, I don't know about that. I don't know. But this Kofi thing has turned into
the momentum, like in terms of momentum, the steam behind the storyline.
The A story in all the WWE, whether they want to acknowledge it or not.
Like the momentum is completely behind this story. It could legit main event. It's not going to.
It's probably not going
but it
to.
Could.
And between now and then, if they could. Last night was a strong episode of SmackDown. Mm-hmm. They even figured out how to do Kevin Owens properly.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
Miz's promo was outstanding. To open the show, that was fantastic.
But the moment, now that they've introduced this added element to it, with the Kofi thing, especially if Ronda retains.
Oh, if Ronda,
this could be the main event.
I've said for a while. Yeah, it could be. I've said for a while. 2 out of the 3 will happen. Will go down the way fans wanted to. 1 will not. I'd be shocked if faces won all 3 of these matches.
I'd be pretty shocked too. I know we've said
because
that
that's just too much.
But at this point, Kofi's my number one.
Could be.
That's my number one. Definitely gonna happen. Just getting there. Could you imagine?
Hold on. Hold that thought. Locana's a good point. Kofi has to win because Daniel Bryan isn't going to Saudi Arabia. That's a fair point.
That is a very fair point. That is a fair point. Yeah.
Because right now, Brock Seth, it seems a formality. That program's got zero heat behind it because Brock doesn't show up hardly ever to actually.
They could do.
It's like Drew's the one that's providing the heat to that story.
They could do to give Saudi Arabia a big moment, which they probably want to do because of Saudi. Here's the thing about Saudi Arabia. They don't want to use the word Saudi. They don't want to use the phrase Saudi Arabia. But if they give Saudi Arabia a big moment, that's probably going to make things a bit better. Kick Seth, like they were going to do last year. Kick Seth Brock over to Saudi Arabia. Have Brock win this time for your heat for heat's sake moment, for your big shocker moment. Kick that to Saudi Arabia, and have Kofi be the big main event thing here. People would go home elated. They'd go home like we went home at 31.
Yeah, when Seth won. Yeah,
when Seth won, that'd be huge.
Ricky Scurvy says they've been killing Becky's momentum for weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if they booked her to lose.
They've definitely been putting the brakes on it.
It's just that storyline is way too convoluted. Way too convoluted at this point. It didn't need to be so convoluted with Becky hurting her knee at the Rumble and then getting suspended and all that stuff. It didn't need to be that way.
Yeah.
Imagine from the beginning if they had focused on the Ronda heel turn, like after Becky won the Rumble, they pivoted immediately to a couple weeks. The transition of Ronda turning heel and then bang, heel turn. And that was the focus of it. Mm-hmm. It was Ronda getting fed up with how the WWE Universe perceived her. Mm-hmm. That would have been far more interesting than, Becky's suspended. Becky got arrested. She's out of the title match. She's back in the title match.
And then she begged Stephanie for her title back because Stephanie thought she vacated it. It was just weird.
It was just all weird. And we all knew where it was going to go.
Yeah.
So just build upon where we know it's going to go rather than adding unnecessary twists and turns that really don't add anything to the story. The stuff with Kofi, him getting opportunity, getting denied, getting opportunity, getting denied. I mean, I think the possibility, as small as it might be, exists in the back of our mind, based on history, that we may not get what we want in terms of Kofi getting his match at Mania. Mm-hmm. It's at this point, it's like basically 2% botch. It won't happen.
Right.
Nonetheless, based on history,
there's always Booker T in the back of our heads. that's what it is.
Yeah. So when they were booking it as, okay, the story is not so much Kofi winning the title at Mania as Kofi getting the match at Mania.
Yeah. But then you end up with let's say, here's the problem, man. Here's the problem with it. Number one, this week they firmly, and it was kind of present last week. Some people were bringing it up, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to go there. But evidently, I missed this, but Xavier used the line, have to work twice as hard to succeed. Apparently last week in a backstage promo or 2 weeks ago. Somebody on Twitter noted that, and I don't know who it was, and I don't remember it myself, but I'm taking them for their word. But the fact that Byron said it last night, and then the video that Big E cut this morning or last night or whatever it was. Even if they did Lex Luger, he gets a count out victory and everybody comes out and celebrates, but he doesn't get the title. Which is as far as you can go in terms of having him win but not get the title. People would crap all over that.
Yep.
They would dump all over that.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious.
No, at this point, if he's in the match, he needs to win it pretty much.
He's winning that. He's getting that match and he's going to win it. The only question is, are we going to get, how closely are they going to follow the Daniel Bryan parallel? Are we going to get a New Day sort of the Daniel Bryan sit-in thing where they take over, like the New Day fans take over, Kofi Mania takes over?
I don't know.
How closely are they going to follow
is
these
Kofi
parallels?
going to have to wrestle a wrestle-in match, essentially?
I would...
On a card that's already going to maybe have 17 matches.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to follow it beat for beat, per se.
Right.
Even though they kind of have so far.
Yeah.
But I think now, since the everybody's role in this has firmly been established, this is the point where you can kind of make it your own thing, especially with Daniel Bryan serving as kind of the authority figure in this case to a certain extent.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to regardless of what they do, the New Day's gonna have to. I mean, because in Big E's video, he also mentioned, we have to think about what we want to do.
Yeah, he says we, is doing this, being on the road 250 days a year, putting our body on the line every day, worth it, knowing that we can only get so far.
This is as far as we can get. So they're going to have to use their leverage, whatever that might be, against Vince McMahon and force his hand.
Well, here's another thing to consider is during the Gauntlet match, they kept cutting backstage. And
Yeah,
at
it was
first
great.
it was the New Day watching on a monitor, and then the next time they cut back,
The Hardys and the Usos.
Usos.
Oh, it was just the Usos and they had the pancakes.
yeah.
That was a great little bit.
And then the Hardys were back there, then Mustafa Ali, and then
Yeah.
Ricochet was in the background. Every time they cut back to
More
that
people.
monitor, there'd be more people there.
A strike. There you go. A strike. Mm-hmm. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's good. Look at you with that brain ears. Good job. So yeah, no, I thought it was fantastic. We're
And
gonna
how many
get to
every face promo on SmackDown last night,
yeah.
every single one of them
Yeah.
mentioned Kofi.
Yeah.
Good luck to Kofi tonight. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Imagine if the entire face locker room walked out.
Yeah. I know. That's probably going to be it.
Could be.
Good job. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Policy Genius. Hey, Larson, do you like doing jigsaw puzzles?
I do, but getting life insurance can at times feel like you're putting together the world's worst jigsaw puzzle. But if you're like us and you have kids, you have a mortgage, you have people who depend on your income, it's a puzzle that needs to be solved.
Well, Larson, I'm happy to tell you that Policy Genius can help you solve that puzzle. Policy Genius is the easy way to get yourself some life insurance. In just a couple minutes, you can compare quotes from top insurers to get the coverage you need.
And Policy Genius does more than make life insurance easy. They also make finding the right home insurance, auto insurance, or disability insurance quick and easy. Policy Genius is your one-stop shop for financial protection.
So if you find life insurance puzzling, head to policygenius.com. In as little as 2 minutes, you can compare quotes, find the right policy, and save up to 40% doing it.
Policy Genius, the easy way to compare and buy life insurance. Thanks to Policy Genius for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to policygenius.com.
This is a shoot. I got myself some life insurance for Lacey because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. Sometimes I'm just out there driving and I'm like, man, one wayward turn from anybody on this road.
Just
I'm
on the way
done.
to work today, I was turned on the street off where my house is onto the main road.
Yeah.
Somebody
Somebody
just-
shoot at you?
Almost.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
like that.
Shotgun, really? GTA?
No, a car.
Oh, okay.
It could have been a T-bone situation.
Oh, okay. I thought there was somebody
where
out
my
there.
side of the car had been meeting point at T-bone.
Oh, no.
Could have been a disaster.
T-bone. Yeah. So I'm happy knowing that. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, the real question is when we're going to take out life insurance on each other.
The real oh, how do you know I haven't already? Can't you do that like on the sly? Can't you just take insurance policies out on people? Half of the episodes of Dateline are like, yeah, and he just had taken out a life insurance policy on him. I'm like, did that person not know?
Yeah, maybe not.
Man.
I would think you'd have. I don't know.
My wife's kind of shady though, man. I'm not. I haven't told her yet about that.
Oh.
$750,000 be coming her way.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
This guy kicks it.
Oh, all right.
She
All right.
might
Well,
poison my drink or something.
entirely possible.
She's like, here, Steve, eat some anthrax. I'm like, why are you doing that? Because I want to be rich, bitch. Anyways, SmackDown started with the Miz promo.
Yeah. So he showed a recap video package of what happened the previous week, or kind of recapping the whole Shane heel turn. He gets in the mic. He says, essentially the pairing of the co-besties was a way to fulfill the dreams of both members. Miz got the validation from his father that he'd been craving pretty much since the day he was born, apparently.
Yeah.
And Shane got to be a tag team champion.
Yeah.
It was mutually beneficial. However, it went sour. It went south. Shane turns on Miz. And Miz had some really good lines. He says, Shane, you're rotten to the core, just like your father. You weren't born the best in the world. You're a McMahon. You were born the worst.
That's good.
Wow.
That was great.
Wow.
It was really good.
His performance was outstanding, too.
It was really good.
And Miz goes on to recount how he earned his own success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, I guess the expectation was that he was going to flipping burgers at his dad's restaurant in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he was on the Real World, busted his tail, got in WWE, was pretty much instantly disliked from everything we heard. At one point, he was kicked out of the locker room.
Apparently, yeah.
And he didn't mention that, but
Boy, I hated him when I first saw him.
Yeah.
I hated him.
Yeah.
I remember very specifically the first time I saw him on WWE programming. I knew who he was. I knew about him because I ate in a Hooters once down the bar from him.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally, I've told this story before.
Several
It was
times.
literally just me and The Miz sitting at a bar in a Hooters, sitting at the bar in a Hooters in Santa Monica, California, because they would put on WWE pay-per-views for free there, but nobody really cared.
Yeah.
This is probably 2001. And yeah, we were both just sitting there, and I looked down, and somebody was talking to him as if they knew who he was. I was like, that guy looks really familiar. And then I realized, oh, it's a guy from like Road Rules or Real Rules or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, so that's what he was doing back then.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
With Steve here.
I was thinking, contrasting this face turn with his previous one.
Oh, God, this
when
is so
he
much
was-
better.
Well, yeah, because
It's motivated.
It's motivated, and it's keeping true to the Miz's character.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
yeah.
the previous one, he was palling around with Ric Flair, pandering to the crowd.
Didn't make any sense.
Trying to figure out how to do a figure four.
Didn't
We honestly
know.
did not know.
Still doesn't know.
It's better.
It's a little better.
It's better. And at one point, when the crowd was chanting, "You deserve it," instead of saying thank you, you just said, "I know."
Yeah.
Or you're right, I do.
People like that.
Yes.
People don't want.
Because they cheered.
Yeah, exactly. People don't want nice. They want confident, determined,
Yes.
motivated.
Bit of an edge.
Bit of an edge.
So the Miz recounts how he earned his own success and says Shane deserves the only thing that he's earned himself, an ass whipping at WrestleMania.
This again, nothing on the line. Could be heat for heat's sake. Miz could totally lose this. Shane kind of doesn't Shane need a win?
He's lost all his Mania matches. No.
He didn't beat AJ. He didn't.
He won. He and Daniel Bryan won last year against Kevin Owens. The same.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you got Daniel Bryan on your side. You know, it was a year ago. I think today, a year ago, within the last 48 hours, that Daniel Bryan was cleared.
That's crazy.
It feels like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
It feels like no time has passed.
I know.
And how great has this past year been for him?
It's
like
been
in terms of
fantastic,
watching
man.
him,
It's been fantastic.
It's been everything I ever wanted, really. After that, we had Sasha and Bayley finally showing up after ducking the Iconics.
Yeah, man.
They show up.
They walk down the ring. Iconics walk to the ramp, drop a promo, make reference to the college scandal.
Yeah. Yeah, they said, look at you. They made reference to the college scandal.
Yeah,
What they
something you
said.
couldn't buy your way into an Ivy League school or something like that.
Yeah, something
And they
like
said,
that.
but you're on our turf here on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So we're going to have the upper hand.
What a silly reference to make.
Yeah, I know.
Ivy League scandal.
Then match starts pretty early on. Lacey Evans walks down the
Hey,
ramp.
let me ask you something.
What?
Sorry, I know I'm going to derail this with some banter. Your thoughts on Little Bill now?
I mean, he's still really good in Boogie Nights.
How can you not look at that guy and just think, oh, God, you're the worst?
Yeah, it's pretty crappy. It's pretty crappy.
Well, you know, I mean, he's like that character in Fargo.
Oh, I know. Well, you know.
Oh, you know, I just want, the best for my daughters, Anyway, sorry. So, yeah, midway through the match, a couple minutes into the match,
Yeah,
Lacey
not very
Evans,
long in the match. Lacey Evans walks down the ramp, distracts everybody,
Yeah.
and then walks back up.
Yeah, I guess Bayley kind of got sort of dealt the bet. Because, Bayley, turns and looks, she's like, what's going on? And then Billy Kay sort of takes advantage. But then Billy Kay starts yelling, get out of here. Get out of here. That was a terrible Australian accent.
It was not very good.
Anyways, so yeah. But then there's a back and forth. Then some shenanigans on the outside. Bayley
Yeah.
gets laid out.
Yeah, she does.
She got laid out by, I think, Billy Kay's boot.
Yeah, she did.
And
then Peyton goes for a pin on Sasha, and then Billy Kay puts her hands in there to help Peyton Royce.
quality cheat win.
Yeah, man.
From the Iconics.
Yeah,
I
man.
would think that probably gets them into that Mania match.
I would think so.
I really hope so.
I think so.
Because that's not a kickoff show match, is
No.
it? Shouldn't be.
No. The women's tag titles
Is
are
before we were talking
second
about
pay-per-view appearance is not going to be on the kickoff show.
is Asuka even going to be on the card?
Well, isn't there something next week? It wasn't on the show, but I think it was a YouTube video where I think Mandy Rose is taking on either Carmella or Naomi, and then Sonya Deville's taking on the other one, either Carmella or Naomi, who is not facing Mandy Rose. And then somehow who comes out the winner of all of that's going to face Asuka?
I didn't see that, but
I just saw a thing on Twitter where it said there's 2 one-on-one matches, and then it said whoever wins that faces Asuka. I was like, well, there's 2 matches. There's going to be 2 winners.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to be is it going to be a triple threat then?
So is that?
I don't know.
Is that slotted in at Mania for a match?
Probably on the kickoff.
It'd be kind of weird if she wasn't there.
Well, she has to be there, but unfortunately, probably. And then there's a video of Nikki Cross.
Oh, that's got to do with the women's battle.
Up in the rafters pointing at the Mania sign.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means. That was a really well done video. It's really cool. You should check it out.
I mean, it really should be Asuka versus Nikki Cross because they put on a hell of a match in NXT.
But yeah, they do because they're doing the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal too, right?
Well, they're not calling it that, but yes.
I know, it's pretty funny how they tried to do that. We can be progressive. Oh my goodness, WWE! I know that it's that kind of stuff. That what you were talking about earlier, back in the back of our heads. But they still do stupid things.
Yep.
They still try their best.
Like I could try to be optimistic, think, oh, Kofi's going to get his match at Mania, he's going to win, it'll be great.
But they just
and then the back of my head,
they just tried to use the name Fabulous Moolah on something fairly prominent too.
And they were unwilling to change their mind until a major sponsor threatened to cancel their sponsorship.
Ah, man, I feel you.
So in the back of my mind, I can be optimistic only to a point.
I know, dude. I know. Never bet against the WWE doing the wrong thing.
Totally. Next, we had a Rey Mysterio interview where he brought in his son, who's apparently like 6'6".
He is a big kid.
Huge.
Big boy. Big kid.
And he just started recently wrestling training, my understanding.
Yeah.
So I guess this is his first professional promo he just cut.
He's going to be a hoss. He's not going to be one of them high flyers. He's going to be.
I don't know, man.
When he hits AAA, what is he going to be?
Oh,
Who's he going to line with?
I don't know if he's going to be in AAA, man. If he's already getting groomed by his dad, he's going to go straight to WWE.
Oh, no, man. He's got to. Come on, humor me.
Oh, okay.
He goes to AAA. Who does he align with? Is he going to be? He's got to be a Technico, right? Not a Rudo.
Yeah.
Is he going to wear a mask?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Would it be El Hijo de Mysterio?
Oh, yeah.
That's the son of Mysterio, right?
Can you be Hijo de somebody who's still very active?
That I don't know.
Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, because there's an El Hijo L.A. Park or La Parca.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Okay. All right.
And, of course, L.A. Park's still very active.
Yeah, true.
He's wrestling all over the place.
As is La Parca.
Well, L.A. Park is La Parca right now.
now.
Yeah. L.A. Park right now is La Parca.
Parca.
It was La Parca of WCW. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
It gets confusing when there's L.A. Park and La Parca and there's like gimmick infringement and stuff.
It
was confusing.
It's very
very confusing. Anyways, Rey Mysterio says that he's going to face Joe at WrestleMania 35 for the U.S. title. Dominik's be sitting ringside to watch it.
And then they let Dominik get a line in. He says, Joe's just a big bully. My dad is going to go out there and do what he does best, beat up bullies and bring home championship gold. And I was like, Dominik!
That's pretty cool.
He's got some earrings, some fancy diamond earrings. Man, good for him.
Yep.
He once had his custody in doubt, and it was in papers on top of a ladder.
Yeah, it was decided in a ladder match.
Oh, man.
Next, we had an episode of Kevin Owens' show. Special guests Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
And he kicked things off by wishing Kofi well.
Yep.
And this was perfect.
Oh, Miz did too.
Yes. This was perfect. They're not trying to shove him into the matter. They're not trying to shove him into the match. They're not trying to angle. No triple threat, nothing like that.
Nope.
He had his match. He's not demanding a rematch. He's coming out and he's like, I'm just going to be paying close attention to this, see how it all works itself out.
Yep.
I think that's great. He's probably got no problem being in like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal or something like that.
Maybe they'll give him a KO show segment during the kickoff show or the main card or something.
Kevin Owens KO show Moment of Bliss crossover special?
There you go.
I would die to see. I think that'd be great.
That'd be pretty good.
I love them both.
Becky and Charlotte comes out, sit opposite sides of the table. Owens is in the middle. He's got some cards with some quotes from Ronda Rousey. Of crap talking that's been directed towards each of them. Yeah. So he's going through first with Becky.
Becky, she called you a joke?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to read this one. This one's really rude.
Oh, this one's really bad. That was good.
And at the end, he puts his cards down and say, all right, I always say fight Owens fight. People here want to see you fight. I could tell you two want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So how about this? Fight Becky fight.
Yeah.
Fight Charlotte fight. Charlotte takes the mic, says something rude. Becky sucker punches her again.
And then Kevin Owens says, hold on, wait. And he gets out.
That's before Becky sucker punched,
Yeah.
And then they fight, indeed. They brawl all over the place.
Was it just me? Did it feel like an awkward brawl? Were they just trying to make it look more real?
No, I thought it felt awkward because they were trying to keep each other healthy. That's what it felt like to me.
All right.
That's what it felt like to me. It felt like a lot of collar and elbow tie-ups.
Yeah, it did.
Where there's just a lot of like holding on to each other.
Yeah.
It looked like they're trying to gain an advantage with a couple punches here and there. But it felt like it was a very safe brawl.
Okay, you're probably
Even
right.
when Charlotte was tossing Becky into the barricade, it felt very safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy they did that because I don't want anybody getting hurt.
Well, because like when they first fell over on each other, it just
They fell over the table.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, be careful. But yeah, you're probably right.
Well, I think part of it was they were trying to make it feel real, but also trying to be safe doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I missed this. AJ
What?
Styles interview.
Yeah, he had a brief backstage interview, also wishing Kofi well.
Okay.
Talking about his match against Randy Orton. And I think he said again, I'm proud where I came from the Indies, but at WrestleMania, I'm not looking to build anything. I'm looking to tear it down, as in to say, put on the best match.
I'm looking to burn it down. No, man. I can't
Tear it
use
down.
Tear it down. I'm going to tear down my house that I built.
Prove
that
why
makes sense.
I'm the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's good. That should be a killer match.
Oh, the card on paper looks great.
That might be an Orton win.
Oh, it could be.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Again, you have to balance out all the good stuff that's going to happen with some bad
I mean, there's
stuff.
17 matches, so I mean, I guess they can have 14 heel wins and 3 face wins and be fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it can't all be.
Although
they're setting these all up for like.
They're putting Angle in this match against Baron Corbin. There's no way Baron Corbin's winning that match. Zero.
The old guy's leaving. The new guy that they like.
I know, but what do they like to do maybe more than anything else? Humiliate Baron Corbin. He's going to lose.
That's the top of list of priorities. Humiliate Baron Corbin.
I don't know. It seems like it. Sometimes.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
It really does.
It really does.
It really does.
Boy, I got a lot of thinking to do with these predictions.
And like, given what has happened leading up to this match, it's all leading to Kurt Angle winning his final match against Baron Corbin.
Although, spoiler alert, in case you haven't watched 205 Live yet, you watch it yet?
No, but I know who
last
wins.
night. Oh boy, I called that one. Man, that is awesome. And that
wait.
match, freaking killer.
Can't wait to see. I'm going to watch it later.
And we got a Kanellis match
That's
on
cool.
205. I was happy. I watched that
A
last
real
night.
match?
Yeah, it was Akira Tozawa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, killer match, dude. He had to cheat to win, but still, he did.
A win is a win, man.
Yeah.
After that,
I think Cedric's going to be in that Battle Royal. He's going to be in that Andre Battle Royal.
that'd be cool.
Because he can't not be at WrestleMania.
yeah.
Anyway.
After that, Daniel Bryan and Rowan come out. Daniel Bryan drops a promo saying, Kofi's going on and on about how he's had to earn everything. No, he was handpicked to replace Mustafa Ali in the Gauntlet match preceding the Elimination Chamber. He was handpicked to be in the Elimination Chamber match. He says Kofi has earned nothing.
Yeah.
Once again, calls him a B-plus player.
So I'm accepting of all this because I love Daniel Bryan, and I think that he's fantastic. It is kind of the one wonky thing, though, is that he's like super environmentalist vegan guy, and he's sort of aligning himself with the old racist white guy.
Yeah, it's odd.
But I try not to think about that too much.
I thought would have been an interesting wrinkle if they had done this. Because he referenced the fact that he'd faced his own adversity when he won the title the first time leading to WrestleMania 30. It'd been interesting if he'd said, you know what, they called me a B-plus player then, and they were right.
Oh,
If he had done something like that, it wasn't only until he reinvented himself that he became, an
good.
A player.
Yeah,
that might have been interesting. That'd been some super heat on him. Anyways, New Day interrupts because this Gauntlet match is starting right now.
Yeah, if you referenced all those idiots who got in the ring with me, they didn't know better.
Yeah, they didn't know better. They
good.
were fooled like I was.
Yeah, that's good.
First, Kofi taking on Sheamus. At one point, Sheamus distracts the ref. Cesaro hits Kofi with a European uppercut while Kofi was on the ropes. Sheamus catches Trouble in Paradise from Kofi. Sheamus tries for Cloverleaf. Kofi escapes. Later on, Sheamus does get the Cloverleaf on, and then Kofi kind of wiggles out of it, does a full sit-up, and transitions to a roll-up. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, he only gets a 2 count. Finish saw Kofi evade a bro kick, goes for a roll-up. Sheamus kicks out. Immediately, Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, gets the win. A good, I don't know, like 10, 12-minute, brutal, hard-fought, stiff, physical match to really start the process, storyline-wise, of wearing down Kofi physically to get maximum babyface heat on him.
Wasn't going to be easy in that first one, and commentary drove that point home really well. They said, this is maybe taking way too long for Kofi. He's taking way too much damage this early. It's only the first guy.
Next, Cesaro. He pretty early on catches Kofi off a springboard, hits a tilt-the-world backbreaker. Again, a really cool spot. Cesaro gives Kofi a swing, goes right into a cloverleaf attempt. Kofi tries to escape with the same kind of roll-up, sit-up type deal he can get against Sheamus. Cesaro counters it with a suplex. Finish saw Kofi escape a Gotch neutralizer, hit an SOS for the win. Again, another really physical match where Cesaro was really twisting Kofi into various painful submission holds to try to wear him down, get a tap out.
This next one was Kofi versus Rowan.
Hold on a second. Why did Rowan come out to the Bludgeon Brothers music?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Whereas previously that wasn't the case.
Yeah, you're right.
It was his old solo theme.
Mislabeled. Somebody
Maybe.
fell
I
asleep
mean,
with
the
switch.
Bludgeon Brothers theme's good. I like hearing it.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't seem to fit the character, though, as
No,
much.
it doesn't.
Although he only wears metal shirts.
Yeah, and he is. I mean, it's a very menacing theme, and he's still very menacing.
I know, but his kind of...
Did he come out back to the folksy one before?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
When was the last time we heard a Rowan themes? Has he had the theme? Has he? What match has he had?
He's had a couple solo ones.
Has he?
I thought so.
right.
Didn't he have a solo match against Mustafa Ali?
Yeah, you're probably right. And he had his folksy one. I literally didn't pay attention to the music they use.
Yeah. Rowan's objective was not to actually beat Kofi, but to wear him down even more.
To destroy him.
Yes, so pretty quickly he rams Kofi into the barricade a couple times, hits him with a steel chair. Of course, he's disqualified. Kofi wins. And then Rowan puts Kofi in a bear hug and then drives him into the ring post, tears up the announce table, puts Kofi through it with an iron claw, and he seems content to just walk away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which brings us Samoa Joe.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Joe will mount offense. Kofi will do just enough to escape getting defeated. Joe goes for a muscle buster. Kofi escapes.
I like the audible gasp because it comes out of my mouth also whenever the muscle buster is set up, because I don't think he's hit one since the accident with.
No, he did in NXT because he was in NXT when that happened. He has not done it on the main roster.
Oh, okay.
He beat Finn in their cage match with like a second rope muscle buster.
Oh, God. Did you see that the Neville the Pac second rope tombstone?
Mm-mm.
I don't know exactly what the story is behind it, but man, it looked bad. He hit somebody.
Oh, he hit it. Okay.
He hit it on somebody. I don't know who. I don't know the story. I just saw the image on Twitter. I was like, oh, that looks really bad. Ugh, God. Anyways,
Jeepers.
Not a fan of second rope anything anymore.
So he goes for a muscle buster. Kofi escapes, wins with the roll up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's upset.
Of course, and he starts.
He puts Kofi in the coquina clutch till he passes out. Refs come out.
He had
Adam
him,
Pearce
like,
comes
through
out.
the ropes.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Refs come out. Adam Pearce comes out. They separate Joe from Kofi.
I think Finlay was out there too.
So, yeah, and so Kofi's basically passed out, unconscious, in the ring. Enter Randall Orton.
Yeah.
Of course, they have history. Randall pretty much immediately takes him out to the barricade, starts talking trash, calls him stupid.
Gets right in the camera where there's like a low level mic. Anyways, stupid. Of course, a recall to 10 years ago.
Yeah. Back in the ring, action continues. Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise. Too slow to make the cover. Randall rolls out of the ring. Even before that, Orton goes for an RKO and Kofi escapes. But the finish saw Kofi counter an RKO into a roll-up, pinning Orton. Place, the building erupts. New Day
huge.
Run down the ring to celebrate with Kofi.
Steve looks at his phone, notices there's 7 minutes left.
Yes.
This is going to turn bad.
Yeah, it's going to go south.
And
sure enough, it does. Vince comes out to the ramp and says, I'm going to be out here to congratulate Kofi.
Great performance. Congratulate Kofi.
But in order for you to go on.
No, he says, and you're going to WrestleMania.
As soon as
Yes.
you beat this man.
But you got to beat one more man. That last man is Daniel Bryan.
This has been a really, I am actually really curious about, because it's like a bunch of people that Vince It's the Daniel Bryan thing. It continues to fascinate me. I've mentioned this before. When you watch his, when you play through his showcase mode on WWE, and he talks about, WWE hired me back in 2000. He also mentioned that in the Nigel documentary, how he lied in his physical stuff. How they have been fascinated with Daniel Bryan, even though he seems like a guy who's kind of sort of least likely.
Yeah,
they brought him back like 5 different times.
Yeah, they fired him. Yeah,
and now he's WWE champion in a very prominent spot.
Yes,
and he does. I mean, at the was it Survivor Series? No, when did he win? When did he win the title?
It was right before Survivor Series.
Yeah, and he was doing like all sorts of media before that. And he's sort of fluctuating in and out of character because he has a big smile on his face because it's from media. But you get all this stuff that's sort of like, and that given how heavily Vince McMahon is on camera in this, he's pulling the strings behind the scenes. This is all him, and that's fascinating to me because it's really good. And I feel like kind of the need to point that out a little bit. Like, this is really good, and it's probably very Vince heavy, because it feels like the kind of thing that we've often said that when it comes to the Universal title scene, if you look at Roman Reigns over the past couple of years, it just feels like it's overthought.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I don't know if this is the right time to do it. It feels like the stakes are so high and the pressure is so high on that Universal title and making Roman Reigns the guy that they just that Vince fumbles the ball. Whereas there's less pressure here. It's a WWE title. It's not the title that's out there in public and everything. There's less pressure, and I just feel like it feels like this is something that he's having more fun with.
It could be, and maybe this is speculation completely on my part. Maybe he has more confidence in the creative team on SmackDown. People he's probably, obviously with Road Dogg apparently being, the creative lead on SmackDown, someone he's really familiar with.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has a lot to do with it as well.
It could be. Dude, it's one of those things that, it'd be harmless if you just let us know what's going on back there, because it's a fascinating process. The creation process is fascinating. The writing process. Hey, you see the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, I haven't watched it yet. Is it as bad as the poster?
I want to watch it with you later on. No,
maybe we'll do that during post show.
Brad Pitt has a killer line.
All right, good.
There's
another thing to consider about the whole creative process. I kind of feel like Daniel Bryan's really heavily involved too.
I think you're probably right. I think if you look at SmackDown, you got a bunch of people who I think Vince probably pays attention to. Yeah, Kevin Owens. We know that Vince loves Kevin Owens, evidently.
Except after a WrestleMania match.
Well, yeah, but I think that's probably because he has so much confidence in him that when he lets him down, it's just extra heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just the creation process is fascinating me. I'd love to know what the creation process is for.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
So yeah, Daniel Bryan comes out and. You got to figure that it wouldn't be believable at this point for Kofi to beat Daniel Bryan.
No, after beating 5 other people. Early on, Bryan hits a belly-to-back superplex. Kofi kicks out. Daniel Bryan puts him directly into the yes lock, or the LaBelle lock. Kofi gets to the ropes. Kofi hits SOS, thinking, all right, maybe Kofi's going to do it. Daniel Bryan kicks out. Daniel Bryan does his corner drop kicks. On the last one, Kofi reverses into a roll-up. Daniel kicks out, yes. Kofi goes for a top rope crossbody. Daniel Bryan gets out of the way, hits some Danielson stomps on him, and then the knee plus for the win. The crowd deflated, bummed out.
Yeah.
New Day, of course, they had to go backstage again to watch the match because they couldn't be ringside because Vince said, New Day's out here. Kofi be instantly disqualified.
The look that Daniel Bryan threw to Big E and Xavier Woods when he passed them by coming out was so good. I giggled. It was so good. Daniel Bryan
he's amazing.
He's so flipping good right now. I noticed here in chat somebody mentioned the exact quote that ALK82 said. Randy Orton said, "This ain't your guy. Trust me, stupid."
Wow.
With Kofi, he was shouting at that to the crowd. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was so good. And then ALK also makes a point here. He says, when Joe's theme hits, you really feel that oh no moment.
Yes, I know.
You really do. It's really the perfect intro to his song.
Oh, it's so menacing.
Dun, dun. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, it's terrifying.
Of your end coming soon.
Yeah.
Joe. But then you can roll them up seemingly and get the win. So that was SmackDown. Some great storytelling. Oh, Travis Ray is saying Kofi's foot was under the ropes at the finish.
I don't want them to use it because Orton also, when he got pinned, he was sort of getting his shoulder up too. I don't want any of that technical stuff.
I don't want that either. I want actually effective story beats.
Yeah.
Not little trivialities like his foot on a rope. It could be something that with some real drama to it. I agree.
I'm kind of curious. I'm going to do this as a community poll here real quick.
Right.
I want to know what match people are most actually excited about because I think they just killed it last night.
Oh yeah.
In amping up the excitement. And the funny thing is it's not necessarily that we saw this coming. It was executed very well.
It really was.
It was booked very, very well.
It really was. And even in defeat, Kofi gained momentum. So it'd be interesting to see where they do with the story the next couple of weeks. Just contrast this SmackDown where every segment you look at it, something is happening that has a real bearing on not just the stories being told in SmackDown, but the larger WrestleMania card. Mm-hmm. Contrast that with Raw, where the only real advancement in terms of WrestleMania was Kurt Angle facing Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's such a stark difference in how stories are being told on the respective shows.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Where even on SmackDown, they're not doing huge swerves, but they're just telling their stories way more effectively, and it's in a way more captivating fashion than they do on Raw.
Well, let me ask you something. They have an opportunity here with the Fox deal to establish SmackDown as to finally maybe get rid of that
stigma that it's not the A show.
That it's the B show.
Yeah.
What would they have to do? Because the creative they have the creative. Mm-hmm. What else would they have to do? Is it simply a matter of the money they can put into the Fox rebrand? What would they have to do?
I honestly don't know. Maybe just take the marketing muscle of Fox to get behind it, to promote it, because it's going to be in front of more eyeballs. Because Fox Network is more homes probably than any cable network.
Yeah.
I mean, because I honestly don't know. The creative on SmackDown is so across the board, pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
That
I mean, would it be a matter of?
Because I don't want them to say, oh, maybe we'll bring over Brock or something like that.
Well, that was literally what I was about to say.
Because the issue with that is if the second ratings stumble or aren't what they want them to be, let's put the title on Brock again.
Well, if you did something like you have Brock show up on SmackDown for a feud above title, a Brock versus Cena feud. I'm just throwing it out because they're two big names. And they push that as a marquee deal. That would have to do it to some degree, right?
Maybe, but I don't.
That's one piece of the puzzle.
I think
because we've seen that you can't just do it with really good creative.
No, I know.
But
I don't know. I haven't seen any. Like, we've seen statistics and data that suggests that Cena can pop ratings.
Yeah.
Have you really seen that with Brock of late?
So I wouldn't say that he necessarily pops ratings, but his presence has a perception of importance.
Yeah.
And the attention to the Universal title, which has been inextricably linked to Brock Lesnar, has a perception in the minds of the WWE audience.
I kind of feel like the bloom has come off that rose to a certain extent to in people's minds because they're just sick of Brock being around in that particular role as absentee champion, essentially.
Yeah.
And the worry is going to be, well, he shows up at SmackDown, the first stumble. Oh, all right. Vince in his mind thinks, oh, well, Brock is still a marquee attraction. Put the belt on him is going to help things. Mm-hmm. I think people are just kind of sick of that.
Yeah, but for some reason, it's definitely a weird thing. People are sick of it, but they still perceive it to be. Here's the thing: if Brock wins at Mania, there's going to be the perception that, Seth is not good enough in the eyes of the WWE. Mm-hmm. Brock is still that mountain. Mm-hmm. He's still the mountain,
Oh, I know, but I feel like if they had gone through with the original plans with Brock, going back to him beating Taker, mm-hmm. it would have been far more impactful.
Yeah.
At this point, 3 years, 4 years afterwards, 5 years afterwards now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not going to have the same impact as it once did.
Yeah, I think it might take them throwing everything at SmackDown and trying so hard, and then SmackDown being kind of crappy for us to perceive SmackDown as a co-A show.
When SmackDown is the show we feel obligated to watch, as opposed to one we are excited to watch.
Yeah, then we'll
mission accomplished.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's answer some questions. Jeffrey Nguyen. I barely watch the weekly shows these days. I simply take your 100% factual recaps and steal them as my own thoughts.
Oh, we're going to start writing these so they're all just fanfic then. so that all these recaps, Jeffrey Nguyen's going to roll into work. Somebody's talking about wrestling, and Jeffrey Nguyen's like, man, did you guys hear Mustafa Ali is the Universal Champion now and WWE Champion? They're like, Jeffrey, that never happened.
That's not the case.
Steven Larson said it.
We'll just start putting our We Book Raw episodes as actual recaps.
That's what we should do.
Dylan Smith says, I can finally do this, Lo. I was deployed, and it wouldn't let me. Kofi will win the title. I hope so.
Might be where all my confidence points go. Let's see here. Cody Miles. If CM Punk had fulfilled his promise of beating San Martino's reign beginning at Money in the Bank, today would be that day.
Wow.
That is a long time.
That's
a long time.
Almost 8 years, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't talk, just listen. It's safe to say they don't care about Oscar, right? I mean, doesn't seem to be a priority.
Is this true? Jimmy Thomas? How did we all forget to mention that on Raw, No Way Jose was wearing a Pentagon Junior mask?
Someone mentioned that, I think, in chat yesterday, but I didn't recall. Yeah, that's Pentagon Junior mask.
That's hilarious.
King Drew, once Kofi wins this title, I'm going to cry. To see a black WWE champion would have done wonders for me as a kid. Just happy it's happening now. Hashtag Kofi.
I mean, it's a shame WWE has to be dragged to that, but I think that, dude, when you're a little kid and you get to see representation like that.
Exactly. It does a lot.
It does a lot.
It
For
does
your
a lot.
business, it does a lot.
It does a lot.
You know?
Yep. It does a lot.
Let's see here. Adam Darwin. Are they going to do a New Day's Careers versus WWE title match at WrestleMania? It sounded like Big E was all for leaving WWE if Kofi and black people in general keep getting screwed out of the top title. That's an interesting take. The New Day's Careers on the line. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Justin Tolentino. I don't have cable, so I watch you guys for the recaps, and judging by the community polls, that's probably the better option.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I'm glad, man. I feel honored that people come to us exclusively. Snake Sosa. I'm looking at the Discord right now, which you guys can get access to for $1 on the Patreon. I think he echoes our sentiment. I think they may do the Occupy SmackDown angle, continuing the mirroring of Daniel Bryan, seeing the amount of locker room watching the TV during the match.
Could be. Locaine, again, we read this earlier. Kofi has to win because Daniel Bryan isn't going to Saudi Arabia. Jose Alaguna. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Jose.
Happy birthday.
And as of today, I've lost 70 pounds, technically 68 because I had a fat burrito last night, but I just wanted to let you guys know how much you've helped me through tough times. Keep it real.
If Jose had simply eaten half of that fat burrito last night, he'd be nice. 69 pounds.
We've lost 69 pounds.
Armor Arcana, how would you storyline-wise take Kofi to Mania? We kind of mentioned that with the sit-in idea. Mm-hmm. Also, what would you have changed about the current storyline? Honestly, nothing.
They've been executing this really well.
They have been.
Trey Saunders just bought tickets to Ring of Honor in Columbus post G1 Supercard. This will be my first non-WWE wrestling event. What was your first WWE event and non-WWE event you went to? I went to a Raw early 1998 in Davis at the event center out there. It was right after, I think, 2 weeks after the Royal Rumble. Stone Cold didn't wrestle, but he had a promo to close the show. Shawn Michaels, because he was injured, showed up on the Titantron. I think Ken Shamrock. Oh, shoot, who did he wrestle? Ken Shamrock had a match. Remember that early on. First non-WWE event was probably one of the local shows around here.
Yeah.
Those curly fries?
Kenny Omega curly fry hair. That's funny.
That's pretty
crazy. I'm going to head over to the Patreon now and take a look at questions there.
Twinewinder 1, WWE are sending scouts to college pro days. Thoughts? For football?
That's smart.
Tis the season for football pro days. That's smart.
That's smart, man. You need a variety of athletes.
Mm-hmm. Dragon Reborn says, I'm tired of Lacey Emelina. Lacey Evans.
Definitely has that vibe. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely the vibe of they don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know, man. We've heard multiple times that they're going to give her a big push, and I still believe that. I just think they're biding their time. So this is what they have.
Yeah.
This is simply what they have.
Kelly88, thanks for making me laugh while working. I'm going to take over Mania. Any merch you guys want back for the set?
Oh, man. I don't know. I would say I'm a big fan of surprises. Number one, don't feel obligated, but we'd love if you did. But I would say just surprises. Something cheap.
Yes,
Something
cheap. Yes.
Something cheap.
Robbie Hyde, do you think Becky, Flair, and Rousey has lost steam? Rousey's kind of gained steam.
Rousey, I feel like, has gained steam, but I don't feel like Becky's picked up any. Although I think the crowd is still the crowd will still go. They'll go crazy for her. I don't think that I don't think they've done her any favors necessarily, but I also kind of feel like she's done a really good job on Twitter of keeping her profile up pretty high.
Even if creative really hasn't done their job in that respect.
Jeremy Parenti, is there anything more devastating than Total Diva episodes account getting suspended during SmackDown tonight? Nah, man, it was pretty devastating.
I don't know, man. If Lariato got suspended, that'd be...
That was the point I was going to make about that whole thing, and I made this point before, but man, one of the reasons, and this is factually just how it is with me, one of the reasons my interest in New Japan has sort of been on the wane is because Lariato, that account, would constantly remind me, this is what I'm missing.
You're missing, yeah.
This is what, because there's plenty of awesome stuff there. This is what I'm missing. That watching whoever put, I think maybe New Japan tweeted this out, the first 3 minutes of that Colt Cabana.
Yano
I'm
match,
going to watch that entire thing. I'm going to go back and watch that because I get to see bits and pieces of what I'm missing, and I want to see the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, New Japan told Lariato you have very, very strict limitations on what you can do.
2 gifts a match with no finishes.
I think it was 3 per match with no finish. Maybe it was 2. I don't know. But I don't see it nearly as much. And I just, it's out of sight, out of mind because of when they air their product, because of the time zone. Like, I just, I just lose the interest.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff is very, very, I feel like it's very, very important. And in the case of Total Divas episodes, it doesn't seem like it was a WWE thing. It was just, happened to use a song that he shouldn't have years ago. But that kind of stuff goes a long way.
It really does.
Don't
talk, just listen. To make SmackDown top brand, the easiest thing they could do is treat the titles with the same spotlight they do for Raw. Yeah, I can see that. Because, not right now, but there's been several times where the WWE title has been treated like the B story on the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's a variety of things. I think number one,
and like right now, the women's title isn't even like on TV.
Yeah, if going back to the question about how do you make SmackDown a number one show, if you feature that prominently in the media, if you send the WWE champion to Good Morning America, stuff like that, if you do that, and honestly, if you simply let it main event the damn shows.
Yep.
I think we're going to perceive maybe a bit more even ground between, a bit more parity between the two.
Once Brock drops.
Once Brock goes.
Yeah.
I do. I think that Seth is more on the level. He's full-time. When a full-timer has it, I think that's when we're going to notice it.
Josh Lazo just says, hey, here's money. Bye.
Hey,
here.
Oh,
money,
by the way,
bye.
shout out to James, formerly of Couch Hop.
Yes.
Now just of James. Uber Haxornova. Shout out to him. A couple of the friendos dropped him some love on his live stream last night, his first live stream since announcing he was leaving Couch Hop, and he definitely felt the going in raw love. As to when, he said it himself, he wants to be on the podcast more.
He's welcome anytime.
I'm going to suggest this at the very least, hopefully before then, but I am formally inviting him here to Sacramento to watch Triple Mania with us.
Oh, perfect.
And then to do our Triple Mania live stream recap.
All right, what day is that? August something?
It's in August, so there's
Early
plenty of time.
Yes.
Plenty of time. We'll put him up in a place and yeah, watch Triple Mania with us. James, the invitation's open.
Yes.
The ball's in your court.
Yes.
I think that would be a blast.
That'd be a lot of fun.
And I don't really want to watch any Triple A
we don't
between
do that.
now and then.
We watch 2 shows a year for AAA. Triple Mania and Rey Reyes. That's it.
Exactly. And Rey Reyes just happened.
Yeah.
We just figured, we watch this. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know anything going into it.
Oh, exactly. I don't want to know anything. The less I know, the better.
Although I think that's literally their next big show.
I think so.
Kind of it.
I think so. Big Bad Boss says in your chat, did y'all see Kofi's Petty Posit shoes? They are awesome. Yeah, he's got some Zoom rookies. Just came out with like a nebula type print all over him to match the tights. Kofi
cool.
is. I mean, I know he's got his own sneaker videos on Up Up Down Down, but even before that, you could tell he was top sneakerhead in all of WWE. His collection, just based on what he wear in ring, is impressive.
Here's a question that nobody's
Impressive.
That nobody's asked us.
What?
what superstar would you like to see start a YouTube channel that doesn't necessarily, it's not like up, up, down, down. It's some other genre of YouTube video.
Daniel Bryan doing like vegan vlogs.
Oh, that's
Cooking
a good
stuff.
one. That's a good one.
Because I imagine, especially with in his profession, he probably has to eat a lot of calories, and very specific calories to maintain his physique and his energy levels. I want to know how he does that.
Yeah,
I find that interesting. Without because usually the perception is if you are muscular, you got to eat a lot of protein, usually from animal sources. Obviously, he doesn't eat food from animal sources.
Yeah.
How does he make up that protein?
You know what I want to see? Randy Orton starts a YouTube channel where it's Randy Orton reacts. But he only reacts to like backyard wrestling and indie wrestling.
Oh, that's good. He's going to mock the hell out of it.
That would be so entertaining. I'd watch that every day.
Yeah. Rich in 03, is there time to fit Cena or Taker into WrestleMania 35? One of them would just interrupt Elias.
Yeah, one of them's going to interrupt Elias. You're right about that. Let's see here. Thayer Thabata, will Andrade be added to the U.S. title match when Zelina Vega gets back from her honeymoon with the Dutch Destroyer, Aleister Black?
That's a good question. I don't know. They're going to have, or they'll have Ray pick up that title just to have he and Andrade feud for it afterwards. I don't know.
Joe just got that title.
I know.
Let's see here. I know it's funny because like in the back of my mind, I'm like, how do they not just do that 4-way again?
They could do the one-on-one
again.
match and have Andrade cost Ray the belt or something like that.
Do the 4-way again. Everybody loves all four of those guys. Just do the 4-way again.
I agree.
Just do the 4-way.
I agree, man. It'd be great, but they want to do something different. I'm suggesting some alternatives.
There you go.
Oh, by the way, we're out of these.
Oh,
These
no.
describe cards, so we have to figure something else out for chat trivia.
Oh, no.
Which I'll do after the show ends.
What if we do an impromptu chat trivia for each other in our own wrestling history?
All right. See if anybody just knows that.
No, I'm talking for you and me at the end of the show.
Oh, all right.
Because we don't have cards.
Okay.
So we'll quiz each other on our own wrestling experiences.
All right.
I'll go first. Who did Big Jeff mistake Jeff Hardy for at that McDonald's we ran into him?
It was Edge, wasn't it?
It was Christian. You got it wrong.
Damn. I knew it was one of the two.
So, yeah, you don't get to put up a finger.
I wasn't going to.
3 questions each.
3 questions each. Okay.
Otherwise, it'd be kind of hard.
1 second. Yeah, I come up with 5 questions. Or 6 questions, sorry. What was the main event of the first WrestleMania you went to?
The first WrestleMania I went to was 21.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. And the main event of 21 was Triple H Batista.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, hold on a second. Hold on. Ah, dang it. I know what I'm going to ask. Wait, it's probably here. Yeah. Okay, so perfect. Let's see here. What was the main event? Okay, here we go. What was? You're never gonna get this. I'll make it easy.
No, don't make it easy.
Okay.
Ask the question as intended.
Okay, fine. What was the main event for the Raw at the UC Davis Rec Center, whatever it is?
Oh, man.
What was the main event and what title was on the line? You actually might be able to figure out what title and who was holding it.
I think it was Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental title.
Incorrect.
Oh, all right.
But let me see if that was on the card.
Ken Shamrock did wrestle. But I don't remember if he was title holder or if The Rock was at that point because they had an Intercontinental title match the following Mania. So was the tag titles then?
So Ken Shamrock fought Mark Henry.
All right.
However, the main event was the European champion Triple H versus Owen Hart.
Wow. Don't remember
According
that
to
at all.
this, it was January 26, 1998.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds right. It was like a week or two after the Rumble, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, shoot, I had a question and I forgot it. So we went to a house show, WCW house show here in Sacramento.
Okay.
Do you remember what the main event for that show was?
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I don't even remember having gone to a house show. But I will guess Harlem Heat versus the Steiners.
Goldberg versus Kurt Hennig.
Was that at Arco?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. I don't remember that. Okay, I have one more question then for you. Boy. Oh, man. Okay, we went to a small indie show at Mather Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Who is the guy that yelled at us that was in the match? And we yelled at him. He was a heel.
It was a gigolo, wasn't it?
He was the gigolo.
Yeah.
Very good. You got one. That was kind of an easy one because I
Yeah.
don't remember any. Who did he? Oh. Okay, bonus question time.
All right.
Who was the biggest name on that
Abdul
show?
the Butcher.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that weird that we've seen Abdul the Butcher at a small indie show? Boy.
All right. I had a wrestling buddy when we were in college. Who was it?
DDP?
No.
Macho Man.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. Well, did Jeff have DDP?
Maybe.
God. People are probably like, these guys are idiots.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be an odd time for them just to make that discovery.
Oh,
that's a good
man.
point. Kelly88 says Joe or Kevin Owens movie reviews. That'd be great.
Oh, that would. Oh, a Joe movie review show would be amazing. That'd be great.
Kevin Oyer, let's close on this. Wants to do go in raw math for Randall Orton. He's
I was
not
thinking
done it
about
before.
that. He's going to have some strong math.
Yeah, he is.
We're going to have to factor in checking out, though.
Yeah. So, in the ring.
I don't think he's ever come close to a 5-star match.
I know, but he's got a reputation for being a really safe worker.
Yeah, I like that.
And he's has put on a lot of really good matches.
Yeah. I'd give him a
6 or 7, yeah.
I'd give him a 7.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 7.
Look.
Well, he looks great.
Yeah.
And he's
tall.
always
jacked.
looked great.
He's always in great shape.
I mean, let me ask you, he gets knocked down a little bit for being very 2002.
Yeah.
He's very mid-aughts, and he's always been mid-aughts.
I'd give him a 7 for look.
I'd give him like a 6. Give him a 6 for look.
He's tall. He's jacked.
Because in the mid-aughts, he doesn't stand out. And that's kind of a thing.
Promo. He can do really good work.
So here's the thing. He is both a 10 and a 1, depending on his motivation.
Yeah.
Which brings him to a 5.
I'd give him a 6. When he's good, he's good.
Okay.
Legacy. We let a promo called Legacy, so that's a 10. Or a promo, or sorry, a faction. Sorry, not a promo.
I mean, his legacy can't be less than an 8.
Yeah.
It's a real, I mean, okay, it's probably a 7. His legacy at the
Would be an 8, but he pooped in somebody's bag.
Exactly.
7. He also got suspended for steroids.
Was that for steroids?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
7.
7.
Kayfabe, he's always been booked really strong. At least an 8.
8 kayfabe, yeah. It's probably, what, good 7 plus? 8 wrestling? Is he an 8?
No, he's a 7 plus.
7 plus? Okay.
Yeah.
All those guys are 7 plus.
Yeah, he's pretty much exactly a 7.
Yeah.
He's a 7 wrestler.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds right. Cool. Anyways, we're going to do Overrun. Today is Wednesday, so we're doing, chat trivia. Oh, God, we got to figure out chat trivia. Okay.
I'll go through those cards one more time just to make sure.
All right, sounds good. Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. If you're listening to this right now, leave us a rating, review, or a comment. It really helps the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button.
Yes, please.
Doesn't really do anything, but it feeds the ego.
Especially if you smash it, you're essentially liking and then unliking, liking and unliking, liking and unliking. So depending on how often you do it, you could end up just not liking it.
Yeah, that could be.
So actually just hit the like button once.
Just gently hit it one time. Make sure it's hit. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. Till next time, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.